And in this small ayah, Allah has provided us a really deep insight. People exhaust themselves gathering things that they think will make them happy. They're gathering stuff, and that's an exhausting exercise. Either it's physically exhausting, it's emotionally exhausting, or even mentally. They're just sitting in their head gathering thoughts, gathering stuff that they think will bring them joy. And all of that, Allah puts aside and said, what I'm giving you is better than all of those failed collections that you have. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have a stamp collection that makes you happy, or you shouldn't have, some other, some people have shoe collections. Our contractor here at the campus, non-Muslim guy, he has a sneaker collection. He's got a gallery in his house of sneakers, right? So it makes him happy. I'm not saying you can't have collections, or you can't have things that bring you experiences of joy. But there's one thing above all, and I've noticed this over and over again as I've interacted with people, tried to understand this subject. People that become obsessed with one kind of collecting or the other. You know what? A lot of times, I said this earlier on, that there's the pursuit of being happy and there's escaping stress or anxiety. A lot of times people are escaping something by collecting something. So they're actually spending more time, for example, I love basketball, man. I love shooting around. I love hooping. And they're playing ball, and they're exhausted. Their legs are hurting. They're still playing ball because there's something at home that they're running away from to play that much ball, right? And it's scary that sometimes even you can hide behind, coming to the masjid makes me happy. Coming to the masjid which is a great thing, coming to the masjid 5 times a day. I had an interesting conversation with an imam recently, who's been imam for many years. And he said, I wanted to understand the people that come to my masjid. I wanted to study them. It's a very interesting person. So he actually had, the regular musallin, the people who regularly come and pray, coming 5 times to the masjid is not an easy thing, right? So he wanted to understand what motivates them. So he went to each and every person's house. There's 15 or so people, because not too many people can make it every day, right? So 15 or so people, he spent time with them, went to their home, got to know their story, got to understand. And 14 out of 15 were getting away from something. Somebody's family member had died. Somebody had a lot of trouble at home with their kids. Somebody had and even though may Allah reward them for coming to the masjid, but understanding their pain and understanding that they're getting away from something and trying to find peace in something is important to understand. It's important to know. And so what I'm trying to get across to you is that Allah has given us this diagnosis almost, that we try to find escape away from our sadness by collecting things. But actually, that's not happiness itself. That can never be happiness. You have people that are, because we're now in the world of impressions, right? The world of image, the world of filtered images, the world of selfies, and the world of vlogs, and the world of presenting yourself as an icon of some sort, right? So you're following people that you think are really funny or really successful or really they look happy. Couples that look happy make videos about themselves, and people make videos about how cute their children are, and millions of people follow them, right? They're not making videos about when their child is crying their head off and scratching their face and throwing the plate. No, not that video. There's a lot of edit, right? There's the one where they're really cute. That's the video you're gonna see. And so people want to give this impression. And what happens sometimes, these people that look so happy, that look perfectly normal, that look like, man, I wish I had a life that they had. Next thing you know, they commit suicide. Next thing you know, they get diagnosed with some serious illness. Next thing you find out, they're addicted to some kind of drugs. Why? Because the yajma'un was simply an escape from something else, right? And look at how Allah has so precisely just made this comment, huwa khayrun mimma yajma'un. It is better than what they are gathering. So first, Allah diagnoses in this ayah, this concluding ayah, which is, I'm starting today from the concluding ayah. So in this concluding ayah, Allah is telling us later that all those other pursuits of happiness were just an exercise in collection. That's all it was. It was something that deceived people. It was just something that they got fooled by, thinking that that's going to make them happy. And you and I have to really take deep stock inside of ourselves and think, what is it that I am doing that I think makes me happy, but it doesn't actually do it? I can't tell you that for yourself. You have to ask yourself that question. What is it that you are doing jam'a of? And perhaps Allah is offering something better.